Good morning to my students from USA, UK, and good evening to my students from Australia. Grand welcome to all of you. Today is our day 3 in the cybersecurity class. So, yesterday we focused on NIST framework and we understood at a high level, but not we haven't gone into very much in detail for various reasons, whatever the reasons could be. Today, our focus is going to be completely on going through the NIST framework because it is very, very important for all of us to understand, and we made our slides really much better so that for each and every topic you have a relevant example and you can understand easily from layman perspective. The details of the technical terminology we will park it and we will try to use it later point of time as we progress. Okay, so don't get confused because every organization wants to have a security mechanism. That's it. Like my house is having a security mechanism, right? If anybody try to enter into from the main door, unauthorized person, I have to identify if this guy is authorized or unauthorized. If I don't know this guy, am I going to allow? No. So first I need to identify. And if there is any detection mechanism during nighttime, some anonymous guy is going, so my CCTV is going to send an alert to my mobile. Yeah, so it's going to detect. And then how I'm going to, if there is any anonymous guy roaming in the middle of the night, how I'm going to respond? I will call police. Hey, this random guy is near my house. I'm going to respond. And if there is any theft happens, oh, I have to see, maybe call insurance, try to recover. So it's just I need to have a structure in simple layman terms, isn't it? So let us apply the same logic to the organizations as well. Each and every organization, they have a lot of assets, the computers, the the hardware, softwares, and everything. So it's very important for all the organizations to protect all these devices, so-called hardware, software assets. And to make this happen, they need to have a framework. And they need to have a structure around this one. One such framework is NIST. So in NIST, it says the same thing. Hey guys, first you identify. There's a key functionality. Five key functionalities are there. First functionality is identify. Under this, how you are going to identify. Then detect what you are going to do. Then maybe react and then maybe resolve. So these five areas are there, five functionalities, and each functionality we have separate areas. So today's focus is going to be more on identifying. So what are all the different functionalities in NIST and what are the different areas under each and every functionality? We are going to go very much in detail. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. Over to you, Chandra. I forgot to give you the co-host. I'm making you the co-host. Context set. All set. Thanks, Chandra. You can unmute and then you can start. Chandra, you are the co-host. Did I make
Yes,
you?
sir.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. So, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you very much, Lakshmi Garu, for setting up the context. Okay. So, sorry for the inconvenience caused yesterday. I went in a different mode and understood things are not really in the expected way. I've taken you through the uh, entire technical jargon, and finally we landed in the chaos. So now we take the session in a different way. Instead of talking too much technical jargon, we talk from the on ground perspective. Okay, so uh, I have shared one link, ideas board.
Can you share the
Okay,
screen, Chandra?
yes,
We can't see your
yes,
screen.
yes, sir. I will share it. Yeah, I'll share it. Okay, I am sharing the ideas board link here. Okay, just click and open it. I will ask you to respond during that point in time. You can please respond. Okay, so I'll tell you some specific scenario happened in the last year in 2024 when we have approached an organization for cyber security assignment. So we run the managed cyber security practices. So we approached a company, and they are into uh, retail and e-commerce business. So we have done the security posture assessment, and we have done the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. And because the organization running in a very small small scale, and they don't have any specific standards in place. So we have given them the various steps that they have to follow to make sure that their business is protected from the hackers. So what they felt that is, okay, ours is a very small business. Nobody is going to come and hit us. So on a one bad day, their system got hacked by the hackers, cyber criminals, and they have bought down their systems, and they were not able to access their website, and all the customers are facing problem because of their functionality. Their system is not functioning, and their functionalities are not properly working in some areas. Okay, so can you suggest, maybe you can open the ideas board, and can you suggest what could have been done by the CEO of the organization? Okay, maybe you can think from the CEO's perspective, and throw some ideas. What could have been done by the CEO so that he would
Yeah,
have not
team, we have the
made this
idea board
situation?
link in the chat. Just please click that link. Once you enter into the idea board, there is a plus icon. So click on the plus icon. You will be able to add your idea. So just think about the organization we have to protect. So what is the idea that you are looking for?
Can you see this? Maybe what you have to do is you have to just click this. Yeah, yeah. Everybody has to respond, please.
Chandra, can you click on the hide next to the stop sharing? Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, please. Only four ideas. Any other ideas? Five ideas. Excellent. Excellent. Wow, nice. Instant response and mitigation, multi-factor authentication. Anything else, please? 6, 8, 10, 12. 17 responses so far, and there are recovery process. Excellent.
Let's move on, Chandra.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Creating backups. Okay, we'll wait for 1 more minute, sir. Um, okay. Anything else? By using proper compliance. Excellent. Okay. Right. So we have got very valid points here: vulnerability scanning, asset protection, audit, security audit test, risk recovery, network audit, personnel scanning, risk management, recovery process, backups, awareness trainings, multi-factor authentication. These are all very valid points. These are all, everybody has provided the very valid points to make sure that the business is protected. So a few of you have already identified the key functionalities of NIST framework also. So a framework is a combination. A framework is a combination of standards, policies. You can see this. You can see this. The cybersecurity framework is a structured set of policies, guidelines, and standards. So what it will do, it will give us some kind of guidance how you have to control, manage, and execute your business in the risky situation. So when you are falling the trap of a cyber criminal or ethical hacker, okay, what you have to do? So they will give you this kind of framework will give you some kind of guidance to you how you manage these kind of situations and come out of which NIST cybersecurity framework, National Institute of Standards and Technology, is a American organization or American government body. They have come up with a specific security framework for cyber security and information security. So this is called CIF, NIST, 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 CIF. By using this framework, we can protect the organization's assets. We can improve the defense, and we can increase the customer satisfaction. We can increase the trust in the customers. Okay, as we said, NIST is a National Institute of Standards and Technology cybersecurity framework. So it gives some best practices that organization has to follow and protect their assets. Okay, this is been used by widely used by the government organizations or enterprise organizations, businesses, and any banks or any hospitals, so that they protect the sensitive data from the attackers or hackers. Okay, so I'll give you some more insight into it. Okay, so we got a few responses from here, that asset protection. This is the right word they have used. So this is the organization, they are following NIST framework. NIST framework. So NIST is having various elements in it. 5 key elements in it. Okay. So you have to identify. You have to identify what you have to protect. What you have to protect means you have to identify the assets. What you have to protect. So these assets could be, so the identification of assets could be what you have to protect, could be assets, could be your computers, could be your computers, or could be your networks, could be your hardware, could be your software, could be your people. People means it is the people's identity, right? Identity, their usernames, passwords, logging mechanism, and everything. So how we have to protect this? So in each of these areas, we have to include risk assessment is the key here. Risk assessment is key here. So in this risk assessment, what we are going to cover, you will be covering the attack surface management. Means these are all your assets, right? These are all your assets. And what are the areas? What is the surface that is been exposed to the attacker? So that we have to cover it. And we have to do the another thing that we have responded, if you guys girls have responded, is on the vulnerability assessment, right? Somebody has right vulnerability scanning and password protection. This is another thing that we will cover. Vulnerability assessment. So on which the the assets that we have to protect. So here what you are doing, you are you are collecting the asset information, and you are trying to protect them using various norms. Okay, here what you will be doing, you will collect the data of the assets, and you will categorize it based on the risk. Yeah, you will categorize it, and you will categorize it based on the sensitivity, and you will categorize it based on the risk exposure. Okay, so this is about the identity part. So if you take this slide here, so what we are doing, we are identifying the finding and understanding the security risk. Okay, so say for example, if if you are working in with a bank or banking application, or if you are working with a hospital, okay, if you are working with the banking applications, you will try to protect the customer data. You will try to protect the customer's credit card information. Okay, your organization servers, your database, your data center, your computers, laptops, and everything. So these are all will you are going to try to protect it. Okay, and next moving on to the second aspect is so protecting. So how you are going to protect it? Okay, how you are going to protect it? If it is computers, so you will try to implement the multi-factor authentication. Somebody has responded it. Okay, you will try to protect it using multi-factor authentication, passwords, pass keys, okay, um, uh, or authenticators, okay, maybe Google Authenticator or some other authentication. And you are going to implement identity access management, identity access management, and on the data. So because you are protecting the data also here, so data you will try to configure, you are going to try to impose the cryptography or encryptions, cryptography or encryptions. Okay, so this is how you are going to try to protect it by implementing these kind of techniques and procedures. Okay, so in the general terms, when we are going out or when we are sleeping in the home, what we will do, we will lock the doors, something like that. Okay, you see this. So you put the you put the safeguards in place to prevent the attack. Okay, so if it is networks or servers, so you will try to protect using the firewalls. If you are using the computers, so you will try to have the antivirus in place. And for the employees, you try to provide the employee security awareness trainings to make sure that they are protected from the phishing attacks. Okay, and then what we have the other key functionality of NIST is detection mechanism. What you are going to do, you have to do the detection mechanism. Yes, you have identified the assets that needs to be protected, and you have kept all the controls in place. However, there is huge possibility, or by chance or by mistake, these systems could expose to the uh, vulnerabilities. So in that case, how you are going to manage this? So here you are going to constantly monitor. You are going to constantly monitor what's happening in your monitor what's happening in your networks, in your systems, in your wide area of the application usages. Okay, and what you are going to do, you are going to put endpoint, you are going to put endpoint detection and response systems. Don't worry about the endpoint. Okay, I can explain it later. Endpoint is something, all our systems, our APIs, our printers, and whatever it is reaching the final stage in the network, that is called the endpoint. Okay, and you are going to have the threat intelligence in place. Threat intelligence, threat intelligence in place. So as a whole, I can say it is something called SOC, SOC Security Operations Centers, or and SIM, Security Information and Event Management. I can show you an example of Chronicle. Okay, Chronicle is a, you can also type Chronicle, Google Chronicle, Google Chronicle, SIEM images. Okay, you can see, this kind of dashboard you will see. You can see this kind of image dashboard you will see. So it will log, all the information which is coming into our networks and which is going out of our networks. Okay, you can see all the events here. Okay, maybe it is showing a little bit small, but you can also open in your systems. I can show you one more beautiful tool called Splunk dashboard. I will explain it in the upcoming sessions. Okay, you see this kind of beautiful dashboard, Splunk dashboard, with all ZAS effects, and it will show you what are the areas, what are the specific countries that you are getting the response. You see this, the green color, right? So these are the IP addresses. You are getting most of the requests from these areas. Okay, if something if you see in the red color, so which means that some malicious uh, intended people are trying to enter from these regions. Okay, this is only Splunk dashboard, or maybe in the Google Chronicle also we will have this kind of dashboard. Okay, it is integrated with the antivirus software also. Okay, so if something is entering into our networks, the antivirus software automatically recognizes it, and it immediately repels the such kind of attacks. And uh, event or incident automatically will be recorded here, and we will have the automated playbooks to make sure that remediation for the specific event. Okay, this is in the detection area. Okay, we will see we will have these kind of aspects. Monitoring means SOC SIEM. Okay, endpoint detection or network intrusion detection systems, threat intelligence. These all things will be covered here. And you see the detection, you will spot the cyber threats as early as possible. A security team uses intrusion detection systems, IDS. Okay, as I said, uh, intrusion endpoint detection and response systems, they will kick in and they'll try to respond to this kind of activities. Then what we will be doing, once we identify something has already been entered, okay, here what we are going to do, we are going to respond it. Somebody has entered into the house, so now what we are going to do, we have to respond it. We are going to respond. So how we are going to respond? We are going to respond using, we assign this work, we assign this incident to a specific engineer or specific team. So they will analyze it. They will analyze it, and then they will try to create. They will try to create the response, maybe in the form of maybe in the form of building a defense mechanism, or maybe in the form of clearing using the antivirus, or maybe in the form of closing the open ports. Okay, finally they try to mitigate this risk. They'll try to mitigate this risk. Okay, and once this response is completed, then we go back to the recover mechanism. Recover. So what we are recovering? We are recovering from the attack. Here we will do some set of activities. One is, restoring the backup, right? Because the system is already corrupted. Okay, we have to respond. We have responded, and we have to put the system in a safe place. So for that, what we are doing, we are taking the backup. We have taken the backup here, right? So we have taken the backups here. So these backups, we will put it here. That is called backup recovery. Once we put this backup here, means a good known state of the system. Okay, so backup recovery activities will go on here. Once the backup is done, we do the testing. So once the testing is done, we will communicate back to all the stakeholders that the things are working fine and our system is functioning without any issues. Okay, this is all about identify what you have to protect and how you have to respond in the event of adversaries, and then how you have to respond back and how you will recover from the event. This is something covering the all the aspects of the uh, 5 key areas of the NIST. So basic functionality here is we have to consider risk analysis is one thing, and as we have seen, as an organization we have to think from the top, as a maybe in the governance perspective, policies, right? Governance perspective, policies, procedures, uh, procedures, work instructions, or whatever. These are the things that we have to consider: risk analysis, governance, and the objectives of the organization. Okay, so the same thing. Let me go through here. Okay, I'll try to cover it here. Uh, okay, so the respond area, in the respond key functional area. So we take, okay, the respond functional area, we take the necessary action to stop and try to analyze the uh, analyze the attack, and analyze the signature of the virus or malware. So on what is the software they have used, what is the IP address that is coming from, okay, what kind of data that they are trying to steal. So these are the things will be analyzed, and then we and then we try to uh, we try to stop uh, the damage as much as possible, and then we go for the restoring the backup. And after backup is uh, after backup is installed in the system, we will do the testing and respond back to the various stakeholders on the current activity. Okay, so in the identify functional area, we have again a few points that we have to consider. One is asset management. Anyways, we have covered that. So what we will do, we will take care of the list of assets. Okay, we note down all the assets. We maintain the asset registry. In that asset registry, we uh, write each line item, and then a risk associated to it, the sensitivity of the asset, and the owner of the asset. Those things that we maintain. Okay, the business environment. Okay, so the business objectives, the goals. So we list all the business objectives and goals, and we try to analyze each objective or each goal. Okay, and then what is the risk associated to it, and then who is the owner of the specific business objective area, and what is the sensitivity. So how much we can reveal to the outside world, how much we can keep it private. Okay, these things that we consider here in this business objectives area. In the governance, okay, we define all the policies, procedures, based on the regulatory compliance, aligning to the regulatory and compliance bodies as well as the law of the land. And once we define those policies, procedures, what we will do, we will try to understand the risks associated to these policies and procedures also. So what kind of risk that can cause to the specific objective from the governance. Okay, if something, if we are not complying to some specific specific policy, okay, there will be a huge penalty on the organization, and sometimes organizations also may go shut down. Okay, so in each of these areas, so we try to make sure the risk assessment is done, the proper risk management is done in terms of developing a plan, developing a plan for mitigation and contingency, uh, and quantifying or qualifying the each of the risk, and then allocating the resource for allocating a owner to each of the risk that will be done here. Okay, sometimes supply chain, or maybe if you are using third party applications, okay, those third party applications or third party vendors, service providers also could cause damage to the organization reputation. Okay, maybe if say for example, I'll take an example from the hospital industry. Okay, an organization is using a specific data management tool, okay, to to maintain the data, and daily taking the backups into their into their local database. So what they have done, they are also taking this data uh, to to the vendor site also. Okay, the service provider is also keeping the backup, and he is trying to sell the data to one of their competitors, one of the hospital competitors. So this is a breach. Okay, so these kind of things also we have to cover. So this is also risk, this should be properly identified. Okay, yesterday I have taken example on cloud service providers. Okay, because you know the data is hosted on the cloud, we never know, okay, who is going to access it, right? So that is something I can say. Okay, the real world examples, the retail company I taken a small example in in the initial conversation itself. Okay, usually we provide our credit card information in the websites, in the retail websites or e-commerce websites. So those data of the customer, right? Their usernames, their uh, mm, credit card number, CVV number, expiry date, those those things could be easily taken out by the hackers if the retail application is having some open ports or open areas, so that user can so that a hacker can get into it and steal the data. Okay, so these situations, third party supply chain, could be supply chain issues, or could be SQL injections, or could be cross-site scriptings, or could be server is open to hacking. So the data will be stolen. So when the user data is stolen, so we are not able to protect the data. So what we have to do, we have to close such kind of open ports and protect the user information. Okay, and manufacturing industry, uh, so this is network hacking thing. Okay, so manufacturing in the industry, a factory supplier network has hacked, leading to a production shutdown. Okay, supply chain management risks. These are supply chain management risks only. So sometimes you know we have to give the multi-factor authentication to the users, whoever is using it. Okay, simply yesterday we have seen the password brute forcing, right? So password spraying or credential stuffing. So what usually being done by the hackers is they constantly give the use give the passwords if they know the username. So they're constantly sending the passwords, and finally they hacked the network. So in those kind of situations, what we have to do, we have to provide the, we have to give the provision. We means the development team has to give the provision to input the OTP or captcha, or maybe OTP to the email address, something like that, that they have to uh, that they have to give the provision to the users. Then the applications will be protected. Or sometimes, if somebody is trying to log into the system more than 3 attempts, so automatically the system stops working, and the system says that, okay, you have exceeded your limit, so you can try to log in after 24 hours, something like that. They'll kick him out of the system for 24 hours, and after 24 hours he can try. Okay, why the identity function is important? It is important because you have to protect, you have to identify what you have to protect, right? So you have to identify what is important for you, what is valuable for you in the organization, and those valuables should be protected. Okay, so the compliance and governance bodies could be, HIPAA or GDPR or ISO standards or PCI DSS. These are all different compliance bodies that can um, govern what you are doing, because they also do audits, and they also certify whether you are complying or not complying. Okay, next, coming to the protect functionality. Whatever we have defined in the in the identity, right? Assets, business, governance, from risk perspective. So these things only will be repeated here. Okay, so how you are protecting, we already discussed in the board, that using multi-factor authentication, antivirus, okay, and cryptography, the of the data encryption of data. Okay, so and the policies, procedures, work instructions, those things will be protecting the valuables. Okay, the real world examples: prevention unauthorized access to the bank problem. A hacker tried to log into bank's customer account. Okay, so bank's customer account, which means that, so the bank system has to give the multi-factor authentication. So it should not simply give the username and password. So they have to also implement strong password policies. See, say for example, if you are only using eight characters password, or 6 characters password, that is very easy to break. So that is the reason the password length should be increased from minimum 12 characters or 16 characters, something like that, and including uppercase, lowercase, having special characters in the password. Okay, this makes the password strength is very high. Otherwise, if the password strength is very low, it's very easy to hack. Okay, in the hospitals. Okay, so some hospitals usually they store the patient data. The patient data usually been accessed by the hospital staff only. Sometimes if the hacker gets the data, if it is in the plain text format, okay, patient name is some ABC, and his age is something, his age is 24 years, and his health problem is sneezing, or cold or cough. Okay, this information, if it is in the plain text format, i- it is, it is automatically leaked, and people, others also will easily know. Then what we have to do, we have to encrypt it. We have to apply the cryptography, so that the normal user, with a normal eye, we cannot directly interpret what it is. Okay, that is something related to the encryption. And endpoint detection and response systems, EDRs, also plays very vital role in identifying the intrusion. Okay, if somebody is trying to enter, so these systems would alert us. Okay, and if the systems are running on the old software or old servers, outdated servers, so it gives the access to the hackers, and thereby they steal the data. So to prevent that, we should always make sure that the softwares are up to date. Okay, so why the protection functionality is important? You know, it prevents the cyber threats before happening, or at least we will have some plan. Okay, because you take the backups, you are happy that okay, if something goes wrong today, that's fine. I'll take yesterday's backup and I use it tomorrow. Okay, so it maybe at the max you will be losing 1 day data, or 5 days data, or 10 days data, because you are taking the backups. Okay, and you and say for example, if you are using multi-factor authentication by using the protect mechanism, so nobody will enter into your system because you have multi-factor authentication, you have captcha in the login screen, so your systems are protected. So you reduce human error risk through training. Okay, when we give the trainings, user trainings, when we give the user trainings, it automatically people will be aware of what is happening in the cyber risk perspective. And finally, they will not touch those kind of fishy emails, or at least they think thrice before they clicking on any link, or accessing any data, or accessing any APK file in the mobile. Okay, this will ensure we win the trust of the customers, and we win the trust we win the trust from the uh, compliance bodies like HIPAA or PCI DSS or GDPR. Okay, HIPAA is for Health Insurance Portability Accountability Act, that is related to the patient data. PCI DSS is related to the banking industry. They specifically talk about the customer sensitive data, customer sensitive data, their credit cards or debit cards, their numbers, okay, their CVV numbers, those things that we have to protect. Okay, minimizes damage if security breach occurs, means we are restoring backups so that we are only losing very less data or less information, and uh, thereby easing our efforts. Okay, next we move on to the detect functionality. This is also a key concept in the NIST framework. So now what we are doing, if some adverse event happens to our protected assets, so how we are going to detect it? So we are going to detect it using SIEM tools, SOC tools, EDRs, or HIPs, hits only, host intrusion detection systems, or host intrusion prevention systems, or network intrusion detection systems. I'll tell you later on this, but these are all some technical jargon that we are going to uh, live with live with it in future. Okay, today is not the end. Okay, if you are hearing something new, don't think that okay, this is something I cannot learn. Okay, for the next 3 months we are going to live with these things only. Hips hits, our next generation firewalls. So these are things that you will automatically acquainted to. Don't worry about that. But By and large, the SIEM tools are going to be used in the detection mechanism. Okay, so once the detection is happened, we will have playbooks, automated playbooks that will kick in and that will help the engineers what to follow. So when you join as a SOC analyst in the company, or SIEM engineer in the company, or SOC engineer in the company, okay, uh, mm, you don't need to do everything on your own. Okay, there will be already pre-written playbooks will be there. So you will say, for example, there is a virus attack, so immediately you will pick up that specific playbook that will be um, linked to that incident. So you will take it up and you try to read it properly and you follow the instructions meticulously, meticulously, carefully, one by one, and you will try to respond back to it. Okay, so in the detection mechanism, there are a couple of examples here. Maybe you can read it later, but when we are some kind of a Bank of America example, I can say, okay, there is an email that employees have received that, okay, C, uh, CEO sending an email saying that, okay, you have to do some favor to me or somebody else, something like that. So immediately the detection system, the SIEM tool, it will pick it up because the CEO email address, okay, the CEO name and the email address is not really as exactly as there in the system, but somebody is trying to trick by this name and they are trying to steal the data. Okay, this is what happens. Then immediately this email automatically flagged as a spam. Okay, suspicious email or spam. Okay, and automatically this will be recorded in the SIEM tool. Okay, because nowadays the SOC SIEM tools are, they are also using AI enabled threat detection systems and threat prevention systems and fuzzing systems and all. So it will automatically detect it. And further, if somebody is trying to send these kind of emails in future, so this will automatically block it or delete it and it will directly go to the junk emails. Okay, however, you will get the communication from the security team or maybe the Bank of America guys or girls who must have got the emails to all the employees from security team that, okay, we have seen this kind of attack on the systems. So please be aware if somebody is trying to send the emails with CEO names, try to carefully read it, see the correct email address, and if you feel suspicious, you immediately uh, reach out to us so that we can help you out. Okay, that is something related to the phishing attacks and something related to payment systems. We are all using third party payment applications only. Okay, so because it is third party application, okay, somebody might steal the data maybe by sniffing the networks and they might steal the data. Okay, in those kind of situations, the security the SIEM tool, again, security SIEM tools are network intrusion detection systems, okay, will detect that, okay, somebody is trying to intrude into our systems and they are trying to steal the data. The next generation firewalls is having capabilities to detect and prevent the intrusions. They will detect and prevent the intrusions, thereby they stopping this kind of attacks. So detect functionality is important to identify the attack in the early phase, and we get prepared for the response. And the sooner you find the attack, okay, you'll stop the loss and you try to stop the organization loss to that large extent. Okay, the time it takes, the loss will be huge. Okay, again, The point is, we have to comply to the um, defined set of rules, regulations, policies, procedures defined by the government bodies and regulatory bodies. Okay. So again, now we are moving towards the we have completed we have completed identify what you have to protect, and we have completed detect somebody is trying to attack on your protected systems. Now we are going to respond, right? We are going to respond back, okay, on the same line items only. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to assign this assign this uh, event incident to one of the engineers, or in the one of the engineers in the team, or the team in the organization, those who are working on the incident response. Okay. They will take it, they will assign it on their names and on their teams, and they start working on the response plan. Okay, how they have to respond back to it. Okay, the forensics kind of activities, right? So they assign it on their team, and then they communicate to the various stakeholders, and they do the analysis both from the static analysis perspective and dynamic analysis perspective. What they do, they take out the system from the network, and they isolate the system, and they do the analysis, both static and dynamic analysis on the virus, or on the attack, or on the ransomware, or on the Trojan horse. Okay, and then create the action plan, and build the response. Okay, build the response to refute such kind of activities. Okay, in terms of closing the open ports, and hardening the attack surface. Okay, reducing the attack surface, and hardening the areas where we are giving the entry to the attackers. Okay, and then it's a, every time we whatever we have learned from the lessons, okay, we will write it down in a document. Okay, this is what we have learned from this lesson, from this incident, and we are going to prepare for the future attacks if something is coming in our way. Okay, so we always do the continuous improvement activities. This is related to the respond functionality. Okay, so these are a couple of examples from the respond functionality. Okay, handling a ransomware attack at a university. Okay, so usually the university systems, or hospitals or bank systems, they collect a lot of data, because we will basically store our information, our personal information also in that, and they try to they try to steal the data, right? So in that kind of situations, what will usually happen, uh, as we have seen in the previous slide, we prepare the response plan, and we communicate to the all the affected people. Okay, students, professors, governing bodies, uh, law enforcement bodies, and everybody. And then the experts will come in and analyze the phishing email, and they maybe implant some anti-phishing softwares. Okay, isolated anti-phishing softwares, and then we recover from the situation, and again respond back to the all the stakeholders, that okay, we came out of the attack, and now we are doing good, and future these kind of incidents will not happen. Okay, this is what we are going to the organization is going to respond. I think the same thing, the university has responded in the same direction. Okay, responding to the data breach also the same thing. Okay, it is the same thing. Okay, some data breach happens. Okay, then what will happen, the hospital, if it is a hospital, hospital people have to inform to the inform to the patients, whoever is the affected patient, the hospital, the governing body, the HIPAA, or high trust or whatever. Okay, and then they have to prepare the analysis plan, mitigation plan, contingency plans, and continuous improvement activities that goes on. Okay, so without having response, the attacker will be staying in the system for long. So if they are staying in the system for long, they are going to steal the data as much as possible. So because of which the organization's reputation will be gone, and organization will run into huge losses. Organization could face the legal and regulatory compliance bodies, uh, lawsuits, as well as financial penalties. Finally, they might face the problems of challenges of closing the organization also. Okay, so based on this response functionality, what we can do, we can strengthen our security posture by building mechanisms, by building various mechanisms. So for response functionality, there is another way we can say, there is a database called hackers db. uh, that database is available. So sorry, exploit db maintains the hackers hacked information. Okay, that is exploit hyphen db. I'll show you later on that. So it will have every information about the hacking activity. Okay, from the ages. Okay, from PHP 1.1, 2.2 to till date, we have all the hacking activities. Maybe it is network, or maybe it is application, mobile, web, everything that is there. The system, the website name is exploit db, that is available on the over the web. So in this area, everybody, any organization can do what they can do is they can build the mechanism by upgrading their knowledge on the exploit DB, and they can develop such defense mechanisms while developing the applications and while working with the softwares and servers. Okay, and the NIST, the same thing. Okay, planning, continuous improvement, and communication. Okay, so we plan for the backup restoration, and we communicate to the all the stakeholders, notify to the customers or affected people, and we try to improve the future aspects. Okay, something is coming to something coming to us, so we can easily refute it, and we can easily understand. This is based on the past experience. Okay, the real world recovery function examples. So everything is the same. Any incident happens, the same process. Okay, we will identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Here what we are going to do, so we have the hospital, what they have done, they have restored the backup, and they have sent the emails to the various stakeholders, and then they have communicated back to the patients and organization, various organizing bodies, so that they are so that they are properly uh, covered this specific aspect. And then another thing, another aspect here, another example here on the data breach, e-commerce company. Okay, hackers has stolen the credit card information. So same thing, when the credit card information is stolen, we follow identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover activity. So here Security team have revoked the access and applied security patches to vulnerability. So it is, maybe it is based on the their application or the servers. Okay, so they have encrypted the strong encryption because they have stolen the data. So we use them for data. We apply the cryptography and encryption. So they have imposed the strong encryption standards there, and they have notified um the various compliance bodies and the data owners in such a way that, okay, we have seen this attack and finally we are recovered from this attack. Okay, why recovery function is important? Again, if you are not recovering the backup, if you are not maintaining the backups, so you will lose all the you will lose your system itself, right? If you don't, not if you're not maintaining your backup, you should have your backup. Otherwise, you don't have anything. You have to build from the scratch. Okay, whatever you have built for the past 2 to 3 years, okay, the entire amount is going in the vein. So again, you have to build it again. Okay, this function will help us in uh, business continuity, with minimal loss. Okay, disaster has already happened. Now we are trying to continue the business with less loss. Okay, instead of losing $100, we will be losing only $1, or maybe we will be using only $99. We have saved $1. Instead of losing $100, we are we are losing only $99. Even that is fine. Okay, but the aim is to save $99 or save $100. Okay, build trust by keeping customers and stakeholders informed. So if you are hiding the information, okay, that is even a bigger crime. If the attack happened and we are not informing to the customers, we are not informing to the legal bodies, if you are not informing to the compliance bodies, that becomes bigger crime and it attracts huge fines. We cannot imagine what will go on after that. Strengthen security measures by learning from the past incidents, learning from the mistakes. Okay, real world examples. These are all some examples related to the various phases. But real world examples, Solar Winds is an organization. Okay, they have attacked with some malware. Okay, so when the organizations got affected with the malware, okay, so this if they steal the data, it will, if they steal the sensitive data, it will be huge issue. So finally, this organization has to recover. They have followed the steps, identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Okay, what they have done, they conducted the vendor assessment. This is third party assessment. Okay, security, supply chain assessment. Okay, and then they've implemented the zero trust security. We call it as ZTS, and then they have deployed advanced monitoring tools to detect the unusual access, responding to the breach, and recovering from the recovering using the cyber resilient plans. I'll tell you one more example. 2024, around 2024 November, December. So you must have seen this incident happened in America, or more maybe throughout the world also. Airports gone offline for a couple of days because Microsoft was using some installer, so CrowdStrike, something like that. So the developer of the third party installers have implanted a ransomware in it. And whoever install the specific software, their systems, their servers are responding back to the to the developer, to the developer, and they are continuously sending the data to the developer. Okay, so this has been identified. Okay, that is something I heard. But finally, what happened? A specific day, the entire systems got halted. All the airports got halted. They have given manual. They have given the tickets manually. Okay, and Uber data breach. A hacker tricked Uber employee into approving multi-factor authentication. Okay, so they gained the access to the internal systems, including security tools, Slack. So sensitive customer data, driver data was compromised. So in these areas, again, what we can suggest is the the human always very vulnerable to the this kind of attacks. Okay, maybe people might call and ask the one-time password and all. Sometimes we give the pass OTPs also, right? So that should be stopped. Otherwise, we land in these kind of situations. So again, the key is security training, implementing multi-factor authentication on the systems, uh, detect the anomalies, respond it swiftly, and recover from the attack. So the basic theory of the NIST is only this. It's not big, very easy. Identify what you have to protect. Identify what you have to protect. Detect if somebody is trying to attack your protected system, and respond to the attack. Develop the proper response to the attack, and then recover from the attack. Communicate, restore your backups, and communicate to your all your stakeholders. Okay, so this is something I can say, and uh, I will open up the questions for you.
Excellent job, Chandra. At least it was very clear for me. Completely better than yesterday. Yeah, you can stop the screen share. And I'm
Yeah,
just telling you how far it has gone through. Like, even I want to share my screen when Chandra was saying all these things. Even my WhatsApp group was victim. I am just sharing you. This is my WhatsApp group. You can see on my screen, and you see here January 2025 batch, where we have like this is the for the Scrum Master training that I provide, and we have like 100 people in the batch here, and it's a large batch. And then in another group, what they have done, if I just open the screenshot, look at this number. I received a random call from this number saying that he is calling because I missed a Scrum Master class. Somebody is trying to misuse. Hey, look, you missed the Lakshmi Scrum Master class, or Lakshmi is conducting this agile training, or Lakshmi is conducting the free webinar. We are sending you a 6-digit code. Can you send the digit code so that we can allow you to join the meeting? It is an urgent meeting. And people, most of them, they do trust me blindly. And one or two people, they accidentally gave that 6-digit code, assuming that, oh, they can join into my meeting, something really important. Somebody scammed, like, oh, there is an important opportunity that Lakshmi wants to announce. So people just they give. And then with that 6-digit code, they went and they entered into this WhatsApp group, and they started calling all the people because they are able to access the phone numbers, not the personal data. But immediately I alerted that, okay, so there is nothing, there is another method. So neither or me or my team, it's for to all of you as well. We are not going to send any kind of OTPs to your mobiles. OTP is just for your personal, not to share with everyone, right? So you're not going to trust anyone related to any of my trainings. So So I wonder whether he got the number and how he put it, how he got the put to the code on my screen. So he's able to access. So better be careful. So this is another scenario. So what I have done, so we detected it. We detected it. And how I responded. So if I don't respond, as Chandra rightly said, the the people are going to take advantage and they're going to stay, they're going to continue to do that. So I responded immediately by bringing the awareness here. And in my Telegram group also, I think I responded, Shay, this is like more than 5,300 people are there. Look at this one, urgent attention. In the month of September also, you may receive a call from this number from Africa asking, the caller may ask you to ask for the OTP. No. So three times it has happened, April 15th and then this one. The only thing that I can do is educating to prevent so that people they don't share. So we stopped it. At least it got suppressed. Okay, we can't really prevent it, but we can mitigate it. But I was able to correlate all the concepts. Thank you very much, Chandra. It's really valuable class. And let us go through the feedback from the class. And sorry, the questions from the chat box. Then we can open the floor for everyone. And I request all of you to please give the feedback as well because your feedback means a lot to us. Based on your yesterday's feedback, we came up with a different approach. If you like this approach, simple definition, terms, going smoothly, just please give the heads up, thumbs up, your feedback. So it's going to help us to improve. We want to improve and we want to help you to improve and make you successful. At the end of the day, your happiness and your success matters a lot to us. For that matter, we can extend the classes, we can reinvent ourselves, we can improve, we can fine tune the material, whatever is required. Just ask, we are here to provide. We are your servants. You are paying for us. You are my clients. Okay, cool. um okay, so Yasir is asking, Chandra, this question is, I think, I hope you are checking the chat box, Chandra.
Yeah,
EDRs are also users as well. Not very
EDRs
sure in which.
also, no, EDRs are not users, sir.
Okay,
That is
okay.
endpoint detection and response systems.
Okay.
So
You're going to cover that one later point of time. You said that that's going to be a little bit tricky if you talk it in detail.
yes, the concept, yes, concepts
Oh,
we will cover it later. Yeah, yeah.
sure.
So
Thank you.
if we talk in detail, more in detail in the about that, yeah,
Yeah, people may get confused, right? Yeah, no problem. I
yeah.
understand completely. So, Chiama is asking, at what point does a disaster recovery and business continuity plan get activated?
The
Is there any
question itself,
particular?
the question is the answer, sir.
Okay.
question is question is the answer. In the event of any disaster,
Yes.
any
Correct. Correct. The
disaster,
BCP will get activated. Yeah, it's not
yeah,
vice versa because let us say, for example, in the event of earthquake, how you are going to do the backup. I was working for Tech Mahindra when I was in India, and for all these service managed companies, they have to we have the client is Citigroup. So we have to provide because I was part of the BCP plan. So we have to provide a BCP plan in the event of natural hazards, like for example, the fire accident or earthquake or maybe flooding. So how you are going to run the business? What is your continuity plan? Yeah, so you have to do that. So we have
the class,
seen, uh,
yes, sir.
yeah, go ahead,
Please,
Chandra.
please, sir, carry on,
Okay,
carry on.
no problem at all. We also have seen the war between Russia and Ukraine. So some of the Ukraine companies, we have seen that they migrated not the operations to India during the wartime. You can search it on the Google as well because that war in that uncertainty situations they cannot really run the business smoothly, the IT operations. So that's why they have the backup plan from India they can run, they can activate and then do. So in the event of any disaster, so this BCP will be activated. Clear, Chima? So Samjay, I think, yeah, Yasir asked, thank you, Yasir. Is that filtered through the firewall or just Splunk independently, or how it is that email flagged a suspicious address? Can you please just send your name? Chandra, the ask is like how we are going to identify that email is suspicious. Is there any mechanism that we write?
So we have the Phishing protection, sir. We
Hmm.
have the phishing protection in place. If you have the phishing protection in place, automatically they basically whatever payloads that is coming in, they use a different coding language. They use Python basically. So the phishing
Hmm.
emails or whatever that is coming from, so it will have its own mechanism in that. The signature
Hmm.
itself, when the data is entering into it, the message header will be
Yeah.
captured.
Right.
So while we write the email, while we write the postcard letters, right? The postcard letters we write the from and to, right? So that kind of
Yeah.
message headers, it will automatically capture it. The phishing
Yeah.
protection mechanism, it will automatically capture it, and
r-
and it will scan through the um, uh, attachments also. So if the attachment is having any specific keywords, we will have a lot of you know um, what should I say? Oh my God. Okay, when we try to open the YouTube or WhatsApp in our office systems,
Hmm.
automatically it will stop,
They got blocked.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it got blocked. Yeah. Right. Okay, good. So GI has ended. There are third-party email filtering tools like Proofpoint, Fortismail. Good. Thank you.
yeah.
Right. Chioma is giving feedback, Chandra, that she really enjoyed. Chandra, you nailed it. Thank you. The equally hack into WhatsApp group, take number of calls preventing. Yeah, Sonia, correct. EB, Johnson, Shiva, they are giving thumbs up, meaning that the session is really much better. So definitely we are here to improve. The delivery is on point. The examples drive it home. Thank you, Nelson. But I strongly, strongly request everyone to what you are going to do. So what we understood is good, but if you want to, I want all of you to please go to your email, go to your email and click on the drive, click, and then I want you to go to the reading material and then please open this slide, NIST framework, which is very important and explained in very, very simple terms, and just go through all the slides. So we have the different areas, and under each area, so what are all the uh, examples that we have, and see how organizations they have responded, they have identified, they have prevented, etc., etc., so that we are very confident. Okay, cool. Now, few more questions. Bismarck is saying that I love the class today. Understood. I think reading head and material before the class will help us more, guys. Definitely, definitely, we are going to send. I already uploaded bit earlier, but what I've done, I'm personally sitting on this material as well. This is the first time I'm sitting, and then to give you the best. And yeah, you're going to get a good quality material because I'm personally involved because we want to make it big, big successful. Today's example, Microsoft issues, very, very apt. Correct. Yeah, Swadesh. Not only Microsoft, even my WhatsApp group is also there. Chandra is like now coach. Good job, Chandra. Good class.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
I'm
sir.
unable to print. Is it possible to send it to your emails? Chiama, yeah, definitely. What I can do, I can send it to the email. I'm not very sure how big it is, but definitely I think I can send NIST 2118. It's I think I can send it. Good. So all questions answered, but we do have some questions from Samjay. He want to ask. Good morning, Samjay from Canada. So you can ask. The floor is yours. Go ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
good morning, Coach. How you doing,
Very
guys?
good morning.
All right. So my question I want to ask you spoke about the Uber attack, and you said the NIST would have been a a good backup to actually prevent that hack. Are you trying to say that they didn't have cybersecurity analysts
Hmm.
at that point in time, or they were not, or the hackers were actually better than the people that was actually protecting the system at that point in time?
There should be definitely cybersecurity in place because Uber is not small, and this incident happened in 2022, not old time. If you think that this incident happened in maybe 13, 14, maybe yes, yes, but this happened in 2022. But the hackers are much more smarter than the existing. So they try to see all the vulnerable areas where we can easily identify the weak areas, attack. So here, I think in the Uber case, they try to trick the employee, went into the system, and then try to, I don't know the exact story, but we know that this has happened. And then we responded like in the keeping in the slide, like how, what actions Uber took that.
So actually, what Uber incident says that is the hacker has approached the employee, and he approached in such a way that, um, say for example, I am the driver. I said, okay, Chandra, I'm I'm your manager. I'm your boss. Okay, I'm your super boss. I need to access some specific area, maybe maybe some of the systems that is accessing. Okay, I just entered username and password. You will be getting uh, the OTP onto your mobile. Okay, just can you quickly tell me? So what will happen is, out of fear, okay, the pressure, because the call is coming from a senior leader in the organization, and he's trying to access the OTP. He's trying to access the systems with OTP. He's saying that he's in very emergency. He's in front of the customer. He's in front of the client, getting the business. So out of fear and out of pressure, so people will automatically gives the OTP numbers. This has been happened to me also. Um, Recently I've taken a HDFC bank credit card. The hacker, there is a specific place in India. They are very renowned for this kind of hacking activities, especially phishing uh, kind of activities. So he called me, said that, okay, you are getting a credit card today. We have approved your credit card. I am calling from HDFC Bank and all those things. I felt that, okay, that is right, because I applied for the credit card. Somehow they hacked the entire systems. They hacked the courier systems, they hacked the banking systems, and somebody insiders also will be revealing the data that, okay, so and so guy is getting the credit card. So after getting the credit card, he called me and said that, okay, Chandra, you got the credit card, we are very happy, welcome on board. And okay, you tell me your credit card number. I told the credit card number. He asked all my details, and he said, okay, you got a pin number, okay, you have to give the OTP number. I
Mhm.
given the OTP number. And second time, when he's trying to access my CVV number, and he's asking my CVV number, and he's asking my OTP. Then I said, I felt that, okay, I have to play with this guy. Okay, immediately I gave the CVV number also. Then he started asking the OTP number. Then I cut the call. So he constantly called me for 10 times that day. So finally, what I did, I taken him into the call. I taken the bank customer care also into the call. I made them in the conference, and I registered a case. Means that is not a police case though. I registered a case with the complaint with the HDFC Bank, saying that, okay, this guy is a hacker. How come you guys are revealing my data that I am taking the credit card?
Excellent.
Okay, is so this is what
Excellent
happens.
work. No, no, that's very good. Good.
So what
Ken
he
is
has done,
having. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Complete. Let's complete it. Another one. Another student have any question?
Okay, so what he has done, he has revealed the multi-factor authentication.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good. So,
So for the,
Olurutmi, we are not sharing any screen. Only just you are seeing my face.
yeah.
Maybe I can turn it off if you don't want to see my face. No problem at all. But we are not sharing any screen. We are not sharing any screen, Olu. Ken, you can ask me. You can unmute and ask. Ken, any question?
Yes, what I want to ask is concerning the hacking systems, and because there've been a lot of complaints, from bank users and customers about hacking into their accounts. So my question is it that the banks don't put in place proper mechanisms to be able to curb this imminent bank account or bank details hackings? What do banks do to prevent, you know, unwarranted assets into customers' accounts?
Chandra.
Lakshmi, can you? I missed something. I missed something there.
Oh, no. Oh,
Lakshmi.
can you saying? Oh, you didn't understand. Well, okay. No, can you
No, no,
saying that we are seeing
yeah.
all these attacks everywhere? So why can't the bank they keep the things in place? What the banks are doing to prevent these things,
No,
attacks?
banks. Yes. Banks. They have all the mechanism to to prevent these kind of attacks. However, the very weak and the very vulnerable area is the people. So they trick the people. They do. They use different uh, tactics. So we call it as TTPs, tools, techniques, and procedures. Right? We call it as a tools, techniques, and procedures. So they use different techniques or tactics. They try to trick the people. Okay, one area is one of their interested area. Okay, what we get tempted to, that is one area, and what we get fear to, they usually say that, okay, I'm calling from police department. Okay, and they will say that, okay, I'm your super boss, or I am your boss, or they give some luring messages. Okay, maybe you got 500 rupees, $500 of Amazon voucher, click this link. Okay, thereby they get the access. Okay, that is the reason banks always informs people that, okay, don't click any such links, or bank people never ask for OTP. These things goes on. However, when they outsource this business, right, that is the reason why we have to audit the third party also, vendor supply chain management also to be audited. So third party applications also to be audited. So these vendors, okay, then when they outsource the business, so these outsourcing staff will get the will get the some kind of benefits from the hackers, or some groups that, okay, they they take the money and they take the favor, and they give the data to the hackers. That is how it goes on. Mostly, uh, I should not say that, okay, it happens. It happens. This kind of things happens in India. It happens in everywhere in the world. But because of unaware of cybersecurity, um, cybersecurity culture or secured culture, so a few people automatically they reveal the information out of fear or out of favor. That happens in India also. It happened in the world also. It happens.
Fear, favor, greed, right words.
Yeah,
Yeah, good,
yeah,
good, Chandra. All right, team. Any final for the Chandra? So what is our objective tomorrow? We are going to cover
Mm,
another framework. We really understood the NIST framework very well today.
yeah. So tomorrow we are going to cover other aspects of the frameworks like ISO 27000 family, HIPAA,
Yeah,
and PCI DSS. So everything will be the same. Okay, if you know NIST, ISO 27000 family is very easy. Everything will be evolving and revolving around the CIA triad: the
right.
confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the
Availability. Yes.
data or information.
Yep.
This is very common everywhere. Even when you protect, okay, so you protect the data by using CIA triad. Okay, confidentiality should not reveal the data to unauthorized people. Integrity, data should not be tampered during the transition. Availability is data should be available to the user as and when they required.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, sorry, coach.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good morning, coach. Sorry,
Very good morning, sir.
what time are we supposed to end the class each morning? I just want to have an idea for better planning for me. Yeah.
Oh, look, the class we scheduled from the beginning, we scheduled for 1 hour, 30 minutes, including question and answers.
1 hour, 30 minutes. Okay, thank you.
1 hour 30 minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes here and there, just based on the number of questions. But please
Oh,
tentatively block your calendar for 1 hour 30 minutes. And
okay,
Monday
okay.
to Thursday, and we go for 13 weeks, not 1 or 2 weeks. It's a long journey.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
please, Chandra, you continue with the way you deliver
Right. Yeah,
everything.
yeah, of course, of course.
I
We
don't
see
know
what is working, what is not working. Yep.
I just don't know what you did, but please continue. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you,
yes.
Mr.
Right, right. I'm trying to pull Chandra into my ways of working. This is a different culture where we train, educate, because many of my students they come from non-IT background, and Chandra he's not really aware of the background, so he was under assumption that most of you are from IT, so he was using all the uh, big words yesterday, which got a bit of confusion and chaos. So we limited that one. We are slowly going to inject the required subject knowledge expertise as we progress. And I closely monitor Ken. All good.
That is the agile way.
Yes, Samjay. Yep, you are there.
Yeah.
Just want to
Thank
have
you.
a
Yes, Asir. Yes, sir.
yeah, thanks. It was a good class today. So really
Thank you, sir.
was focused and learned a lot. Uh, just want to check because with this space, we maybe fall a little bit behind as per that
Definitely. 13
the
week schedule.
schedule. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what's the
yeah.
like the plan moving forward?
We
Like, is
are,
it we're gonna
even
carry on the
I was
same pace?
discussing. No, I was discussing with Chandra as well this morning. We know that this space is going to really help a lot of people, but it may slow down the progress. And Chandra is kindly enough so that okay, the main intention is the people should understand. It's not just the pace, but it has to go in a pace where people should understand the things. Instead of 13 weeks, if we take 14 week, one more week, and he said that he is very happy to support us. So
And
here and there, one
along
day we may slip, but we don't want to really rush just to meet our deadline of delivery.
no, that's fine. That's good. And
Yeah.
plus, like the hands-on training,
Yes.
uh, that also like gonna cost extra time. So, like, is
Not
it the
during the
yeah?
class. Yes, here it will be after the class. During the class, Chandra is going to help us to understand how this is being done. So based on the recording that we have, so we can do the hands-on activity, like after the class or during the daytime, whenever you get time, or during the weekend. So we have classes from Monday to Thursday, right? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have the 3 days gap. So you can complete the hands-on assignment given for that week. And we are going to bring 1 or 2 volunteers who can support you. I mean, in case of any hands-on activity issues. Even we are thinking of conducting an extra complimentary, uh, just a support, a technical support, so that 1 or 2 persons will be there. You guys will be doing your hands-on activities. Anyone get any challenge, so the support team is directly there, like a customer care.
Okay, all right, cool.
Okay, is it? Yeah, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. 1 or 2 days here and there, but we're not going to we're not going to delay it too far. Like it's just we will manage the show definitely.
Quick
Okay,
question. Quick
all
question,
good?
please.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yeah. So why is the CIS framework how is it different from the NIST framework, and which one is most widely used framework between the CIS
Sir,
framework control framework and the NIST control framework?
okay, CIA, you mean to say CIA and NIST?
CIS control framework and the NIST framework.
So NIST is defined by the American organization called National Institute of Standards and Technology. And CIS, you mean to say Central Internet Security? Is that what you are referring to?
No, there is also a control framework. It's called CIS. It also has some similarities. It's just like NIST also. But my question, why is there any difference, and which one is more
Okay, so
likely?
what I can tell here is whether it is CIS framework or COBIT or or NIST CSF or ISO 27000 family, whatever. The is aim is to make sure that the organizations are protecting the user information or patient information.
Okay.
Okay, so which means that organization assets, right? What we have seen as part of the identify section of the key area. So those should be protected from the hackers or cyber criminals. Okay, so it is general like, okay, you join in the in a university A or university B, and you are doing the computer science course. Things will be same, almost everything will be same. Maybe here and there they might change the subject from chapter number 1 to chapter number 10, but ultimately the goal should be the same. So any framework is aimed towards doing good to the human being. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
very much,
you.
sir.
All good, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, team. And I'm closing the call for today. See you tomorrow when we will try to understand other.
Dr. Spikey,
No, no,
Dr. Spikey
I
asked a
already I already
question.
messaged him. I already messaged him. It's all good. Taken
Okay,
care.
okay, sir.
Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much, Chandra, for your valuable time. Thank you, team,
Yeah,
for
thank you
your
very much.
good, valuable participation as well. And yeah, we'll keep you updated and let us learn some more frameworks under cybersecurity tomorrow. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very
Stopping
much,
the
sir.
recording. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
pausing.
Bye, bye.
Stop the recording.